actually go in.
I like that. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly,
I'm not half the man I used to be.
there's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. How I long for yesterday. Wow. That wasn't half bad.
I don't
We
know.
got
I thought they sound pretty bad.
I don't know, man. I thought we
got
nailed
there.
it.
We
I
got
feel
there.
like we nailed that one.
I felt like we were a little off at the beginning, but
Well-
then we kind of started to find our ranges.
I mean, well, yeah. When you haven't been together and sang in a long time, that's what's going to happen. You got to find your tone. You got to
bond in a long time.
Yeah. Well, we're back,
Mhm.
and as you can tell at the end of that, when we nailed the harmony, we're not just back. We're back and better than ever.
Maybe the Nuggets.
Maybe not. Who knows? But that's the theme of our episode. What are we doing here with the Nuggets? Like, is the firing of both Calvin Booth and Mike Malone on the same time a good thing or a bad thing? Where do we stand? Obviously, we've been 4-0 since, but I'm not sure that means anything. We might have gone 4-0 with Michael Malone. Who knows, right? But we have to start there. Surprised? What do you feel about it? All of that stuff.
I will say I was a little devastated when I first heard the news, and that's coming from a guy who didn't initially like the Mike Malone hire. I'll admit that my first couple of years with Malone, I really was just like, what is he doing? And then, Dave pointed out that we're winning more games every year, and I was like, that's true. Touche. But as a guy who didn't like the hire, I was sad to see him go. I was happy to see Booth go. Obviously, more will come out. Things have already been coming out, but before I read a bunch of stuff this week, my initial gut was just like, that really sucks. Like, good riddance to Booth. I was fine with that, but losing Malone, I felt kind of hurt. But now that I've read stuff, my opinion's changed a little, but my initial gut was definitely devastation. Because I can't do Mike like that, is what I kind of thought. Like, you can't do Mike dirty.
Yeah, let's stick to that initial reaction, and then we can dig into some of the.
So I was like, don't Mike like that. He's the winningest coach in Nuggets history, and he's the only coach to win an NBA championship for us. Like, you got to give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, but and I already believed this going into the season. He wasn't set up for success through Booth, so I think it was just it was rough for me. That day was rough for me.
Initial reaction.
Longest tenured Nuggets coach. Did he have the most wins? Did he beat Doug?
Yes.
Mhm.
He's the winningest coach by both wins and percentage.
In Nuggets history, and grateful for him and bringing a championship and all those things. He created a culture. Having him, and when those guys were young, he grew up with those guys. He grew up with Jokic and Maul. It's a huge part of the success of Jokic and his growth and the Denver Nuggets as a whole. Initial reaction was devastated, and at first, because I didn't see that Booth was gone, I was like, how is Booth not gone, but Malone is? And then they, found out that Booth was gone too. And yeah, same sentiment as Tim in regards with frustration, how certain things come about to where you feel like a coach doesn't have the roster, or when you guys aren't, when you and the GM aren't aligned, this is what can happen. He's just done so much for Denver Nuggets basketball, and I liked him as a person too. I think he's a good person. That's why I got Juicy Bits. That's his favorite beer. So,
what an honor! What an honor,
of you, Mike.
I'm sure if Mike was listening right
Mikey
now,
Malone
we know Mike tunes in every now and then. No, we don't. But
probably doesn't.
well,
No,
he might be tuning in now. He's got nothing better to do.
Dave, what's your thoughts?
My initial reaction was fuck Russell Westbrook.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
I mean, like that's
If you don't lose the Minnesota game, does this happen?
if you don't lose that Minnesota game and then the game afterwards, or was it before the Pacers game? The Pacers Minnesota back to back where Westbrook just ruined it. Right?
Yep, right.
Both games.
Right.
You could tell the ball should not have been in his hands. He was making bad decisions. And you know that was a point of contention between Booth and Malone. And all I could think was, if we'd never gotten him in the first place, we may not even be in this situation. We'd probably be seeing Calvin Booth exit at the end of this year and Malone stick around. That's what I assume would have happened.
Jokic was kind of advocating for Westbrook though when there was room.
I know. And then the other immediate reaction, that was my first reaction was, I don't know, man. I'm so mad at Westbrook being a part of this team. Which I'm
It's
not.
still very frustrating.
But then the second reaction was, there must have been, because hearing Kroenke, Josh talk about, well, this has been a long process. We've been thinking about that. That's bullshit. Something happened recently between the two of them, between Booth and Malone, that made the ownership have to make the move. Like there must have been some big blow up. And now that we've read a little bit, but my initial thought was like, there must have been something big that happened, right? And now that we've read a little bit, we know that some things have happened. So, I don't know. So, what about what we've read? Like, what?
Maybe Westbrook was the straw that broke the camel's back. You know?
Yeah.
Day of, I was driving between the folks' house and the camp office, and I don't know who's on 104.3 The Fan, who the people are who do like the the noonish to 1 show. But one of them was like, I have on good authority that after the Pacers loss, there was a very heated exchange between Booth and Malone.
Really?
And he goes, I don't know if they went. He's like, I don't know if it got physical, but he goes, it definitely was very disruptive. Like it got heated.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the day of, and that was before I started reading all this stuff about how toxic their relationship really was. But that probably was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, Will, you've read a bunch. So has Tim. Like, what do you think?
I think these two factions, right? The Malone's guys versus Booth guys, and then certain players feeling divided.
Well, where is that divide? Lay it out. What's the divide?
Team divided.
What is the divide?
It's the young guys in Westbrook. It's probably, well, I don't know. And then Westbrook, who knows? He's probably more Malone showing favoritism to him because he's a Hall of Famer. That creates issues in itself. But
and a veteran,
the Najees, the Jalen Pickett's, the Peyton Watsons, probably even Christian Brown. As much as Malone probably really been liked and was impressed with how Christian Brown has grown this year. But yeah, and then these guys getting stuck in the middle that like everybody, right? Like the Jokic's, the DeAndre Jordans. I feel like maybe MPJ was more on the Boo side. You got like Maul and Gordon probably with Malone, right? Jokic too, but man, I don't know, and I don't know where some of these other guys fall, but like that they felt like there's two factions and that they had to play guys because of this youth movement that Tim has talked about in length for a couple years now about not aligning and how you're ruining Jokic's window because you want to play young and you want to draft develop guys when it's hard when you're in the second apron and you're making some bad contract decisions too. As much as we love like MPJ, that contract is huge. That guy needs to be an all-star.
Right. So does
Maul needs to be more around and healthier. Like you're getting paid like you're an all-star, and maybe Jamal's more of a playoff player and all those things. But yeah, when you have that divide between people, it creates a distraction, and it came to a head where they felt like they had to make a decision. The timing of it is crazy.
Agreed.
Crazy timing.
Yeah, the timing's crazy. But we're so okay. So we were told by our insider at the beginning of the year that there was a great divide between Booth and Malone. We knew that.
Yeah.
And now that whole picture is taking shape. So as we dive into what we've read in the last, 48, 72 hours, we're starting to see the picture of how great that divide was. And it was real. And it sounds like it goes all the way back, it definitely goes back to the playoffs where Peyton Watson was not played in Game 7 against the Timberwolves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Booth wanted him to be played.
Booth wanted him to be played. And it goes all the way, probably even before that, with some of the draft choices and free agent choices. But the story takes full shape. What's surprising about the story is the timing. So the story is there, right? There's a reason for a firing of either one or maybe even both at the end of the year. The timing of it is what is so surprising. And do you feel like the Nuggets are liberated now from it, or are they now oppressed by it?
I mean, maybe. And the things that I was reading about is like Kroenke felt it wasn't fair to, as much as you could probably lay the results of these things more on Booth, in my opinion, it wasn't fair with this divide to what you're showing to these other guys. It is like Malone's guys are who we're going with versus like it's a team. And so that's why I think they felt like they had to get rid of both of them. Right? Isn't that what they kind of talked about too?
Kind of, yeah. But I think it's shame on the Kroenkes for not being able to control their building.
Right.
They're not all innocent in this.
Right.
If you had a more present owner or a more present Kroenke representative, obviously they own lots of sports teams, so they're being pulled in lots of different directions. But Josh Kroenke hasn't been giving his undivided attention to the Nuggets.
That's on Josh.
And
Josh
mediating
the situation
Right.
as you should. So it hit this boiling point to where he had to make drastic changes. So while there was probably some levity on both sides of who was correct, who was wrong on Booth and Malone, I think it was a lack of a present owner as well being there. We've watched it with the Broncos for years.
Mm-hmm.
Dysfunctionality when there's not a good solid owner. And I'm not saying the Kroenkes aren't good owners. They're great owners. They win championships. But I think they kind of let this slip through the cracks a little too much instead of jumping on it.
You're not intervening.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point.
What blame is to lie on the Kroenkes? Like, you think about the structure of sporting teams, you think about the structure of just our society. Like, at what point does someone who's in charge of the whole thing have to take ownership over all of that, right? And I think that's probably what Josh Kroenke was doing. He was like, shoot, I've let it go this far. Now I have to take some ownership of this and do something about it.
He probably, and I know I've made this mistake, he trusts people to, be their age and act mature and be able to work with one another. And you had a good thing going. And when you have a good thing going, maybe as an owner, you kind of let your guard down a little bit. But I still believe he's part to blame. But
yeah, as they should be, right? As they should be. So I mean, it was. It hit me pretty hard, right? Like I was like, damn, like I like Coach. I've always liked Coach Malone.
You did. You were real fired up a bit.
I like the fact that he is a little old school, is a little hard-nosed, but then I can also acknowledge that can wear on people, right? Like,
yeah,
it's cool to be old school and hard-nosed for a year or 2 or 3,
right?
But
great point.
4 or 5, 6, all of a sudden,
7
like, what? Why aren't we adjusting to the way new
we're all
people
growing
are
together? Right?
Yeah,
we're
like
not the same anymore.
There's no doubt that Nikola Jokic can be coached differently than MPJ, but it's also your job as a coach to adjust to MPJ. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't that simple, but you don't get to be hard-nosed every single time. And you could see it in some of the games when he would call a timeout and be cursing out loud and throwing a tantrum And the players weren't responding to that anymore. And I'm sure there was a time where that worked, right? But they weren't responding to
Gotta
that
evolve.
anymore.
You
You have to
gotta-
evolve. You have to change if you want to remain. And I will, as a Mike Malone person, I will throw that out there. And this is something I think we've all learned in our lives. You have to adjust to your personnel, right? Like you can't,
And the growth, like, yeah, you can't coach these guys the same way you coached them in year 3.
right?
Like you're saying, year
Yeah.
4, like they have evolved as people and players,
Yeah,
and you need to do the same. And the fiery, like, they re-showed that tape of him talking about how they don't watch film,
yes,
and
yeah,
he's like, some guys care and some guys don't, and they
Yeah.
won't. They'll say that coach is tripping.
yeah,
Remember? And I also think, like, there's certain things too. Is like I get when you're trying to motivate your players,
Mhm.
but like to call them out in the media
right.
is sometimes not the best way to motivate your players, particularly probably in the NBA where you're getting called out, like not directly. Sometimes coaches do that, but not directly. But those players know who he's talking about. You know,
Oh, yeah.
when he says
I
that.
was talking about
So
Peyton
that-
Watson.
yeah, you know, he's like, well, you know,
That's what
like,
he's talking
so I'm not going to
about.
play like. So
Yeah.
that doesn't motivate me, you know.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you know,
He's talking about
fuck,
MPJ.
like, you know, like,
Yeah.
F you, dude. So you're right. You can't coach these guys the same way, and that's probably why they went with Adelman too. Like they like that difference of how he's gonna coach, and maybe we should start talking about Adelman now and how he's gonna change things.
So here's my inside info. It's a good segue to Edelman. Now, you guys will love this. So a photographer yesterday is like friends with a person who does like massages and stuff for Nuggets players in Cherry Creek.
Okay.
And I guess one of these people, she didn't say any names, mentioned that the timing had not so much to do about like this blow up between Booth and Malone,
Mhm.
but with the fact that Adelman is in the middle of interviewing with other teams, and the Nuggets didn't want to lose him.
Interesting.
Now, I'd rather seek our insiders' info on that, but that's just a rumor I heard.
That's interesting.
What do you think about that?
Well, he's been interviewing the last year.
Right.
He interviewed for the Lakers job. He what other job did he interview for? Was it the Suns too?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but several. And you know, his dad, Rick Adelman, he's been in it.
Oh yeah,
And I really liked his first game like presser, not afterward, but like when talking about the team and moving on. And,
I heard it was a good one. Scott Hastings approved, so I approve.
yeah, and he gave Malone his flowers and talked about moving on, and you know how the NBA's fluid, right?
Yeah.
You gotta keep moving, and every day is different, and having to be able to do that, and I really liked it, and he's definitely not a fiery, like, I'm gonna jump down your throat kind of guy. That's just not his personality. So maybe a little bit opposite is going to be a good thing for these guys.
I agree with that, but Jokic has been pretty pissed off in huddles lately.
Yeah, he is.
Even before the firing, he's been very vocal, but post firing, he's been very vocal in the huddle.
Right.
Well,
I know we're moving on to Adelman.
No, but he knows.
No, but he's
But what I'm
part
saying-
of the leadership now.
But what I'm saying, he's been part of the leadership, but maybe he takes on that role from time to time while Adelman keeps the cool, calm head.
Right.
I don't know. I've enjoyed watching. I don't know. I don't feel like a whole lot has really changed yet.
Ditto.
I feel like there are
Yeah.
still players bickering with one another. There was another heated exchange on the bench today.
Between who? I missed the game.
They cut away. I was dealing with a kid. I just heard Scott Hastings say that was an exchange. It was something. I think it was something to do with Michael Porter Jr. Unfortunately, who I think is gone this offseason.
I don't know how.
I'm just saying. I think so.
Right.
I think he's
I-
gone.
That'd be
I think he's. But that's not what I was trying to say. Now I forgot what I was trying to say.
Wow, Jokic's just kind of taking over.
Yeah,
more of
Jokic just kind of taking over
role.
that, which is fun, which is good to see. Drum plays in the huddle is awesome to see. I think Adelman's going to have to kind of figure out where his place is in all this. He's been the assistant coach. He's come through He's come through and played. When Jokic gets or when Malone got tossed, but I'm excited to see what he can do. I don't know if it's like culture change shock up that's gonna like lead us deep into the playoffs.
Right. Agreed.
But he might be the right hire. I just hope, we don't jump the gun and we do our due diligence when it comes to hiring the next coach. But we'll see. The Clippers will be an interesting battle.
Who do you think's more? And let's talk about the playoffs moving forward here in a second. But who's more influential in an NBA franchise, the coach or the GM?
Ooh, good one. It's not like it was in the 90s. It's not like Phil Jackson, difference maker, X's and O's.
Well, they used to let coaches do both.
Right.
Yeah. I think coaches.
Probably the GM, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I'm just curious, like, why coaches,
it's
why
a great-
GM? I honestly don't know.
I would say coaches because they're the ones who are hands-on working with the talent
Every day
So like when a coach doesn't like a guy, there's a reason that coach doesn't like a guy.
because he sees them every day.
He sees them every day. He's
habits, his
working
behaviors.
with the guy every single
Right.
day.
And you're traveling with them. You know what they're doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're with him constantly. You're with him all the time. I get the GM as present, but he's not at every single practice. He's not, he's not going everywhere at the same time because he as a GM, you also have to be, crossing your T's and dotting your I's by reaching out to other free agents and stuff. Like your whole, as a GM, you're being pulled in more directions than as a coach, even though you're pulled in a lot of directions as a coach.
Right.
And as a coach, though, you're around those guys constantly. And so you get to see who they are as not just basketball players, but people and their work ethic and all that kind of stuff. And whether they go out on their own or if they're hanging out with their teammates on road trips, things like that. You see that more as a coach, I think, than you do as a GM. So I'll vote coach.
As a GM, you got to think about the future. As a coach, you got to think about now. That's just how their mindsets are. Their mindsets are completely different. Like, coach, you got to win now. You got to think about how I'm going to win now. And that's where we come to that divide. Booth is wanting to develop younger players. Malone wants, we got a window now. We got to win now. We got to win a championship now. This is the best years of Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do more to surround him with better talent versus developing talent.
Yeah.
And so that's where the GM is like, hey, I got to think about contracts, being in the second apron. The Cronkies don't want me to be in the second apron. I got to get out of the second apron.
Right.
And so we're spending too much money to be competitive. And
Yeah, it was very clear that Malone wanted KCP back, and Booth was unwilling to make the apron change.
Yep. And so, that's a hard question. So I get both arguments in regards with.
Yeah, would you see this?
I think it's that day-to-day grind that's the real thing. Tim was talking about like habits and stuff, and it sparked something in me. And why can't it come back? It had to do with like the coach being able to examine habits. Oh, did you see the post game the other day where MPJ was unaware that Christian Brown took the rest of the team out to dinner?
I don't think it was the whole team.
Oh, okay.
I think what I heard, it was like 6 guys or something. So a good chunk, like half the team.
Yeah.
But I've always heard Michael Porter Jr. does his own thing on the road. Like
He doesn't want to be a part of whatever.
He's not a part of doing what everybody else is doing. He's doing his own thing on the road, is what I heard. But this is all shit I've heard this week.
Right.
Like, I don't really know.
So many rumors this week.
But
It's crazy.
a coach sees that.
Right.
The coach goes, why is Christian Brown inviting all these people to dinner, but not this guy?
Yeah.
And I don't. That's part. Like, I was thinking before all this went out, I had I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting before this happened, where I was going to be like, we have to sell this offseason and we have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Not completely. You keep some solid pieces. Some people weren't going to be trade bait, but you'd be open to hear anything because we got to solidify a better bench. And you may have to give up a guy or two. But just watching Porter and watching these guys, I've been watching the games, but I've been trying to watch their I've been trying to watch their body language and how they handle things. And Porter seems a guy, he's always a little disconnected. But to me, he seems a little more disconnected than normal. What does that say?
Generational hater threw out there shouldn't have given Jamal $50 million a year when he's already in decline. And that's a tough one.
We overpaid. You overpaid Jamal and you overpaid Porter.
Yeah.
And you have two guys getting superstar money who aren't even all-stars. And that hurts us. But I don't know. I think Michael Porter Jr.'s body language is negative.
I think you can make that comment because Jamal isn't healthy. Not healthy enough. So I also think, but him and Jokic are dynamic when they can win you a series together when he feels it. And he is a playoff. His stats go up significantly in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. Our two biggest contracts outside of Jokic cannot defend their positions. They can't.
Liabilities.
They're defensive liabilities. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's the problem of weighing explosiveness versus Jamal Murray. Still in my mind is a guy who can win you a game.
Yeah. He can win you a playoff series. He won us the championship. He was part of it.
But I do understand that the commitment to the money without being an all-star, not nearly as bad as the MPJ deal though. And generational haters also saying Jokic, name and rotational level guy, is a dynamic combo. He's giving props to Jokic for he makes everyone better, which
Jokic does make everybody better. He plays a good pick and roll.
Yeah.
Adelman created the inverted pick and roll with Jamal Murray, and that was pretty significant.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it lately, but remember when Murray used to start setting screens for Jokic bringing up the floor, and it caused problems. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's just how good Jokic is. But the guy. Here's the thing, and why Jamal Murray is a good piece is he can create his own shot when he feels it.
Yeah.
When he feels it and he's doing step backs and attacking the rim, that's a different Jamal. I still remember, and this is a long time ago, and maybe that's why I get with the contract talks, but man, 2020 Jamal Murray was something special. But again, that's not 2020 anymore.
It's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
And he misses a lot of time, and I understand the knocks on him. But watch Jamal. Watch Jokic in pick and roll with Jalen Pickett, who is a good pick and roll player, but cannot do what Jamal does in the pick and roll.
Right.
It's just but he does well. He actually does well to the point of generational hater here. Pickett and Jokic in the pick and roll are actually fine, but you're not going to be as dynamic in that pick and roll. Jamal is legit. Now the contract is a whole nother story. What he got is a whole nother story, but I'm not going to sit here and hate.
We don't have a lot of catch and shoot guys, and MPJ is one of them.
Not going to sit here.
I get that too.
Not going to sit here and hate on Jamal. Other than he makes probably too much.
Did you hear that rumor though? Remember when we were having trouble extending Jamal, and Booth wanted to trade him.
Yeah, Booth wanted to trade him.
Booth wanted to trade him, and Kroenke was like, "No, you're not. You're going to extend him."
Right.
So,
Kroenke's like him.
Right.
Kroenke's also like MPJ.
I like Jamal. He's frustrating in the fact that he's hurt all the time.
Yeah.
And he'll get fake hurt and have a great game. And then you'll see him just run down the court and get off the court because he pulled a hammy or something. It seems like. I don't know. I like Jamal. He was leaving some shots short today. His legs aren't completely back, but looking forward to seeing what he can do moving forward.
That's awful. Why would you root for the Clippers? Other than I want to go to that stadium, dude. That stadium looks pretty sweet. Let's talk playoffs then, since generational hater is actually now moving us in directions. But let's talk playoffs. What do you think? Odds against the Clippers? Do we sweep them?
I think we have a pretty good shot against them. They have a horrible road. We're the home team. We have a home court advantage. The Clippers have a terrible road record this year. And on top of that, they actually have a really good home record. So it's going to be a battle. But based
Yeah,
on
yeah.
based on what they do in the regular season, and they're getting Kawhi Leonard back, who balled out today, scored like 32, 34 points today. The Clippers are definitely dangerous. But I'm going to take the Nuggets over the Clippers, not just because I feel that way, but based on what I know about the Clippers from this season. They really struggle on the road, and playing at altitude and coming from sea level is very difficult.
We have the Clippers number. I feel pretty confident in the matchup, especially with a healthy Joker.
Yeah, against
Zubac.
Zubac.
I just don't see.
Zubac.
I don't see where.
Where's the front court depth that the Clippers are going to need?
And I actually think we match well defensively against the Clippers. One of the few teams I actually think we match up well defensively against is the Clippers, because you can put Brown on Harden, you can match Gordon on Paul
Kawhi.
George.
Well,
Or-
Paul George and the Sixers, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, Kawhi. Yeah,
Right, Kawhi.
I think you can do that.
Right.
But yeah, I think we match up well against the Clippers in the first round. I think after the first round, we're in a bit of trouble. I mean, that's just what I think. But
Yeah.
as long as we can avoid the Timberwolves, which we won't, we'll be fine. But we're not going to avoid them. We'll see them in the second round. And
Because you think they'll take down the Lakers?
don't you? There's no way.
Because the Warriors aren't playing the Lakers, right? Because the Warriors aren't playing. So it's
No.
the 3-6 is the Timberwolves,
Yeah.
Lakers, right?
Unless the NBA wants the Lakers to win.
That's going to be hilarious because you're going to get one of two most annoying fan bases out of the way. You're going to get either the Wolves out of the way or the Lakers out of the way. So,
Yeah, the team I'd want to face in the finals, Western Conference Finals, is the Clippers. So we get to beat them in the first round. After that, we're screwed. I don't know where we're going to go after that.
Well,
Unless there's some upsets, like I just don't know.
the West
where,
is tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you
where
don't know
we're
who you're
going.
playing in the next round.
Yeah, I
If
don't.
it's the
Do we-
Lakers, I
do-
feel
do-
okay with the
do-
Lakers.
do we reseed? Does
No.
NBA
No,
reseed?
NBA does not reseed.
So who would we play then, based off the bracket?
Let's get the bracket up. I
When
think
would we play Thunder?
Well, who's in the play-ins game? Who's in the play-in games? Who's 7 through 10?
Oh, those guys aren't getting out.
And the Wolves are 6 or they're 6. Yeah. Well, we're all right. I don't want to pick a team in the West I'd want to face in the finals other than the Clippers.
You
which
have the
we're gonna
best
beat
player in the
first round.
league, man. You have the best player in the league, but we don't play defense. We got to.
You have the Kings going against in the play-in. You have the Kings going against the Mavs, and Golden State going against the Grizz.
I mean, the Grizzlies kind of. I mean, they might be they could shock someone. The Kings, I feel, are a little too stagnant. There's just nothing dynamic about them anymore. I do like Zach LaVine's play, but I don't know if it's the right combo. Him and who's their big? Hello,
For who?
the Kings.
Oh, Sabonis.
Sabonis. Yeah, Levine Sabonis doesn't seem to be as good a match.
I'm trying to figure out if we would play the Thunder if they win or the Rockets. If
I think
they
we'd
win.
play the
What are the
Rockets.
seeds?
Which you got to like that.
We'd play the Rockets because the
So
Thunder.
if we play the Rockets in the second round, you're worried about that?
If Minnesota beats the Lakers, Minnesota would play Oklahoma City because they'd be the lowest seed.
So they do reseed.
Do they? I thought they always did.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, let me look.
It only has that first part.
It only has the first part.
We should know.
I should know that.
I thought we
They don't.
reseeded.
God,
I
I'm a
thought.
terrible NBA fan.
I don't think they received. Yes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they don't reseed, right?
Well, then if we're in the top half, we'd be playing OKC.
Which
In
is-
the finals, but what,
Yeah,
what
'cause
about
they-
the next round?
Well, they win, we win. We'd play them in the semifinals, and they would play, and they would play.
There you go.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
we play OKC next time.
We'd play OKC. No,
No.
Because then
I think we'd play the Rockets tonight.
Oh, because there's no reseeding. It'd be a 1-4 matchup.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be a 1-4 matchup, and the other one would be a 2, whatever.
the 2-3. Ideally,
Why is this so confusing right now? I know
probably
how the
because we haven't
playoffs.
looked at a bracket and don't remember.
I know
anymore.
how the playoffs work.
Right. I feel very dumb.
It's so frustrating.
Okay.
I think the NFL playoffs confuse me because of it. I don't know.
It appears It appears we'd play the Thunder.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
a
that makes
1-4. Yep.
It'd be a 1-4
Yeah.
because if the Lakers won, it'd be a 2-3 down here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what this guy was saying earlier. Is he's rooting for us against the Thunder?
I gotcha.
Sorry, generational hater. We caught up finally.
Yeah,
Okie dokie.
a little
Silly-o,
slow.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, silly dokie.
Christian Brown deserves most improved player. He is a great player. No, that's
Yeah.
what he was saying. He was
No,
saying they're some of
absolutely.
the best players.
Yeah.
They were wearing the shirts.
Yeah.
Tim
What
said he
can
wants one.
What can Brown do for you?
What can Brown do for you?
Well, will he
Wow.
be the most improved player this year?
I don't know. I'm
Will
just
we
saying I
get
like
Will
it.
we get any awards this
Ooh,
year?
I would love to see who the nominees are.
Any awards this year?
Well,
What do you think coming our way?
get MVP, but I doubt we're going to get that. It's gotten too political.
Can you imagine?
Legitimately the greatest
This
statistical
whole
season
season ever.
and the man's not going to win. And Perk's going to tell you because they didn't win enough games. But 2 years ago when Embiid won the MVP, he was crying that it doesn't matter how many games you win.
One, yeah.
Perk don't know shit.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't like Kendrick Perkins.
We know.
I have issues though.
There's just some Nuggets hate, some Jokic hate that
Jokic
Perk's
deserves it. I understand the
it's
argument
amazing, man.
for SGA. I understand that argument, but Jokic deserves that. I think Brown should be up. Brown should be up for the most improved. If you look at his statistics from, his 2 previous years to today, I think he could be in the running for it. Christian Brown, he's been balling out, man. He plays defense. He dunks on people. He's shooting a little bit better from the outside, which is awesome.
Not as consistent, but he's still
he's
better.
doing better, man.
Wow,
He's
kidding me? He's like
he's
almost a
improved.
40% three-point
He's
shooter.
improved so much. And him
Exactly,
and Jokic have great chemistry as well. So
Yeah.
you want to keep that together.
You're gonna have to pay him too. You're gonna have to pay that man.
Pretty soon.
That's why you're gonna have to trade MPJ.
MPJ only has like 1 year left after this year, right?
It might be a player option.
Oh, if it's a player option, he might opt out, man.
Could be
Yeah.
wrong, but
What do we do with MPJ?
I just can't. I just hate the politics of all these people trying to make sure SGA wins, man. I think the one thing that you can argue is like he's a free throw merchant, man. He goes to the free throw line a lot.
A lot.
I was way off on the MPJ contract.
Because they just re-signed him, right? Like we got him
They
for a
signed
while.
him 5 years, and we're on year 3.
Right. So
He's owed $38 million next year. That dick better figure out how to fucking play
right,
consistently.
right.
Yeah.
Those are
We're not
some
giving him.
rough contracts, man. But people can get out of them, man. Luka was traded. Anybody can be traded.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Apparently, Generation Hater missed our talk about Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins made that argument and had it helped Embiid win, and they had less wins in a weaker conference.
Yeah, it's all good. I'd like to rather have a NBA championship than an MVP.
Me too.
Hey,
But that's
the year Jokic didn't win.
NBA championship.
We won an NBA
He
championship.
won the most important MVP, and that is the
NBA Finals
NBA
MVP.
Finals.
sure. I don't think we're that good this year. So
We don't have those other.
I don't think we
I
wanna-
miss a Jeff Green. We need like a Jeff Green in the KCP. I really feel like Christian has filled that role though.
I really miss
Not
a James
leadership-wise.
Posey.
A James Posey.
If only a James Posey.
Maybe it's a
was-
leadership thing. Maybe it's not necessarily the production, right? But it's like the leadership that you miss with the Jeff Green and Ish Smith.
But isn't DeAndre Jordan supposed to be that guy?
Yeah, maybe. But if you don't play enough, does it matter? I guess to some extent it did.
I
with
feel like
Phelps,
he's played more this year than any other year that we've had him, which I think is true, maybe. But I don't know, man.
Sure be nice to have Jerron Holmes.
That would have changed a lot
Or
of things.
remember how we were excited about Dario Saric?
Oh, that's on me. That's on me. I built him up. I built him
I
up.
was like, oh, that's a good
Deron
pickup.
Holmes would have played some, but not necessarily as much.
Saric hasn't even played at all.
Malone
He's
doesn't
probably
like
like,
young
shit, why
guys.
did I sign with the Nuggets? I at least going to play somewhere else.
He got paid to sit on his ass.
Yeah, he is.
That's
Played
a
it all.
paycheck.
Yeah.
He won us a game early in the season though with that deep 3 hit. Don't remember against
Conchar doesn't play very much. Conchar doesn't play.
Well, he's coming back from being out for a year. Don't expect too much there. But
He's
yeah, the
done-
Sarge
he's done
thing
well.
was a little
We-
disappointing.
I think that when we talk about worried about the playoffs and where we're going, it's the depth, right? It's do we have enough depth? I know we all know that the rotations get smaller in the NBA playoffs, but do we have enough depth to manage the non-Nikola minutes?
No.
Can't wait to see Tyson Hunter out there. See what he can do.
Hey, he got in slot minutes today.
Did he?
He went to go dunk on a dude, and
Hey, man,
the dude took him out. And
That
he
seems-
I
came down with a bloody nose. And
No
everything.
way.
Yeah.
that seems to be the pattern for him.
And
Missing dunks.
We were up by like 20 something, so they didn't call it that. They ended up calling the foul, but it wasn't.
I like Trey Alexander, man.
I like Trey Alexander. I like Jalen Pickett. I'm gonna be real.
Pickett's
You
had
know,
some-
you know this.
His shot's gotten a lot better.
Pickett's had some good games lately.
If we could rewind back to our draft analysis from 2024, you'll know that I said he will be the best of the class and make it in the NBA.
Pickett?
Yes. Not to rewind bros on nugs, but you guys go back and listen to that
I
episode.
like Pickett. He's been playing well,
Yeah, no, he's solid.
but he was a Booth guy. Him.
Yeah.
That- no, but what I'm saying is him.
coming out of the booth.
Him and Najee, like in those preseason workouts before like you come together as a team, the two of them were in LA working out together and not in Denver working out with the big group of guys.
They were with a shooting coach
Yes,
that Malone refused to allow in the gym.
yes.
Yeah.
There's a reason Malone didn't allow him.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole thing is fractured.
Pickett's gotten better. I don't know. Najee, that was a terrible
Yeah.
contract. Some people would lose their jobs over signing someone like that to that kind of type of contract.
Agreed. Although he showed up for us a little bit now and then.
It's good defensively. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Najee deal that's another one because now you can't get any MLE, like you can't get any mid-level exceptions because you're paying Najee too much money.
Correct.
That's not good.
Yeah, and the MPJ contract is too deep.
That's another Booth
The
one.
Murray contract's too
Too
deep.
deep.
Booth.
So there's really not a lot of capital to like run with here, and so it's really hard to transform the team, which is why we're in such a difficult situation. And I don't think that's necessarily all Calvin Booth's fault,
I
but
mean, we were talking about it, but who did Bogdan get? Did he get traded to the Clippers?
Yeah.
Is Bogdan playing with the Clippers?
I think
Isn't he?
so. Yeah.
I didn't even see. I watched the end of it, but is he getting good minutes with the Clippers?
I don't know.
Because we talked about getting Bogdan there with like Daniel Hunter or Daniel Hunter, not Daniel Hunter. That's football. And how we wanted that, and send MPJ with Trey Young because they're all buddies, and they'll
Right.
probably work out great, and he'll be super, freaking happy. I still wish that would have happened a little bit. But
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I think because of where Booth has gotten us with some of these contracts, we're going to have to trade away some of our young assets to free up and bring people in.
yeah, or draft our future picks, which
We don't have.
You're going to have to.
Traded
You have to.
away.
Yeah,
we don't have a first round pick this year, right?
According to Generational Hater, we don't.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I've been saying it. We're wasting Jokic's prime. I don't care what you have to do. You find a way to make your bench fucking better next season. I don't care what you have to do.
Right.
And there are people out there that I'd hate to see out a different team, but if you got to get rid of them to bring someone in who can like perform even better than they do, do it. I want to win, and to win, you got to get Jokic around the right people. Young's not helping. Obviously, I'm Team Malone apparently, because young and develop is not what you do in the prime of the greatest player.
All right.
We're not that far. First of all, let's not panic too much. We're not that far off.
No,
our
I don't think panic
our
is set.
starting five is legit.
Yes, but our bench sucks. You take Jokic out, we're the worst team in the NBA.
Correct.
That means nobody is doing anything besides Jokic.
All right. Isn't Russell Westbrook turning the ball over a lot?
Yes. He got
doing,
2 games.
doing something.
All I'm saying is I get why we brought Westbrook in is because Jokic didn't want Pickett or one of these young guys being the ball handler in tough minutes. He wanted a veteran guy.
Yeah, and he plays defense.
And you bring him in. He
Just
plays
don't shoot the
defense.
ball.
You bring him in, he plays
You
defense.
just go, no!
Like today there was a 12-point swing because he missed 2 threes in a row, and
He makes some
Clippers
good
made
assists.
2
He
in a
makes
row.
some good passes, man. It's just, he can't make open shots.
no, Westbrook's frustrating as hell. There's
Yeah.
people out there. There's expiring contracts. There's a way to get a savvy veteran. Get a couple of
You
them.
gotta tread lightly because that's a Hall of Famer, man. He's a Hall of Famer. And so it sucks. Like these these fading Hall of Famers and how you gotta treat them. That's a problem, man. That's
he
the
wasted a 61 and 10 and 10
right. Triple-double.
triple-double by Jokic. Which, by the
You're
way,
an idiot.
ESPN
Just dribble it out.
Which by the
Everybody knows. Just
pull the
go.
ball out.
Just pull the ball out, buddy.
And then don't foul the guy.
Let him foul you and go to the free throw line.
And ESPN barely talked about it. I
Yeah.
fucking hate ESPN. They barely talked about a 61 and 10 and 10 triple double. Curry, LeBron, any of those guys do it, they're jizzing all over themselves for a week.
Right.
Jokic, they get one quick little mention. It's I don't know. Westbrook blew that one, and at that point in time, I was like, fuck that guy. He's frustrating. Sorry, frustrating.
Difficult to handle.
Would we have called that a timeout with Timmy?
It was a good
Pretty
one.
close.
Was it pretty close to timeout?
Timeout with Timmy. Yeah.
That was super frustrating. I was like, what are you doing? No, this can't be
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
now!
It was like I was yelling at the TV at 11:30 at night. Just hoping I didn't wake up my family.
I just couldn't believe that actually happened.
Then he runs down and fouls on the other.
What are you doing? On the other hand, yeah.
Oh, and then he fouls the 3-point shooter.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
It was,
And then that led you to the horrible Pacers loss, which led you to where we are today.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Which led me to be like, I hate
Russell Westbrook. Full circle.
Yep.
I never really liked him.
Yesterday.
I was a little iffy on his signing, Dave. You got me a little excited about it because you're good at that, Dave. But I don't know. I just
yeah. Well, I was excited because I was like, he might fill the absence of Bruce Brown. You know what I mean? In terms
Nobody
of
filled
Brucey B.
we need Brucey B back. He's a
That's
free
not-
agent.
No,
But
dude,
we
that's
can't
like
say-
saying
I was hoping
that's like saying you want back that ex-girlfriend that you like really had a great relationship with, but it never was going to work out.
Well, you know he was going to be
She
traded.
left you for more money.
If
Is
he
that
didn't
what
get
you
traded
said?
at the trade,
and now
they were
maybe
gonna-
she's like, hey, but this guy was better.
No, that's not how that works.
I want a championship.
Yeah, the Bruce Brown. That was a great. Hey, got it. Let's as much as we hate Booth, he did execute the KCP trade and the Bruce Brown signing,
And he lost them both
and he also lost them both after 2 years.
because he signed Zeke Naji. The best contract any bench player in the NBA
Wasn't
has.
Conley the one who signed MPJ though before he left? Like he's like extended MPJ and then was like,
Oh, Conley did that?
Yeah, that was a Conley move.
yeah, I'm pretty
But
sure
not Zeke.
MPJ was a Conley move.
Zeke was Booth,
No,
right?
Zeke was a Booth sign.
Yeah,
Booth.
No,
extension.
definitely a Booth signing extension.
Did,
which
did you
was
hear?
terrible.
Did you hear that we're trying to get Conley back?
That's a rumor too, but yeah,
It's a rumor. I said, did you hear?
I did, and I think it's hilarious because
We also want his right hand.
what I heard talking with insiders is Conley wanted to stay, and he went to the Kroenkes and said, "This is what
He wants to be paid more. We don't pay our GMs enough.
I think." The one thing, and I don't know if this was the deciding factor, but he does have a stake in ownership with Minnesota. Conley does,
Oh, interesting.
right? Which the Kroenkes were not willing to do, and also
So
I don't
they
think they
were.
were willing to meet the money that Minnesota was going to give them. So they're just like, bye. Which, again, talking with the Wises is
We don't give away our
Right.
sources.
sorry, whatever. What sources say.
It's very
joking.
unprofessional of you.
Oh, stop it! I don't even know what they
Your
are.
sources are your sources.
I'm just joking.
You guys are ridiculous.
I'm just joking.
No, I'm distracted.
Sorry.
Sorry. We didn't mean to do that to you, Will.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Never mind. Lost my train of thought.
No, get it back. Get it back.
No, I can't.
Yes,
You
you
interrupted
can.
me.
Sorry. I just would like to respond to generational hater right now. is that some of that I have no fucking clue who this is. But some of that is a reward for winning a championship, which is well deserved.
Not
So,
the Najee.
I'm
Not the Najee contract.
Not sure. Like you win a championship. I don't know who you're a fan of, but
Who y'all got for defensive player of the year?
my difference player of the year.
Yeah. Who's that center who caused COVID to go all the way through?
Oh yeah,
NBA.
who's that French guy?
The
yeah.
Nuggets dominate.
Well, I heard it might have been Wemby until he got hurt. So
Yeah, well,
Oh man, that really sucked. Actually, I actually am upset about. And by the way, is Michael Malone just knocking on the Spurs door right now?
yeah,
Hey.
if you know that Pop is done,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Hey,
sure he
man.
is.
Give me Wemby. Give me that young core.
Yeah, but De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
and
Oh man, I bet he's just. If he wants to continue coaching, that would be a great setup for him. And he's a Popovich guy. That's probably where he ends up.
and wins
And then
multiple
wins multiple championships.
who you got for defensive player of the year in a league that doesn't play defense? Great question.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Gobert this year.
No, not good bit.
He's won it several.
I
but
shoot
I
round
don't think,
dunked on him real hard this
I
year.
don't think it'll be Gobe.
I think my defensive player of the year is probably who's really good at defense.
I mean, Jokic almost led the league in steals.
Yeah, Jokic. There we go.
he's not going to win defensive player of the year.
We'll rebuild when Jokic leaves us, whenever that may be. We have an opportunity to sign him to an extension this offseason.
Yeah, I think
I really hate the Lakers rumors. Those are annoying. Do you think Jokic would even want to remotely go to LA? That's ridiculous.
No, I think who we're competing against, who the Nuggets are competing against, is Serbia in horses. That is who we're competing against.
Right.
He's not going to play for another team. If he's done with the Nuggets, he's done in the NBA, and that's how I feel. I feel like he could very happily go back to Serbia and live his life going clubbing and riding and doing his horse stuff.
Right. Because he has enough money.
I don't think he goes anywhere. And when he does, it's back to Serbia.
I want to go to Serbia. Apparently, there's like this really cool river that he lives along in the off season. His parents have a house.
So you want to go to his house?
Yeah,
I just want to go to that. I want to go.
Video of that him tuning that river, right? That's what you're talking about.
That's also where Serge Popovich, who sends his kids to Stratton, he lives there in the summer as well. Apparently, it's where like cool Serbians live, and I'd like
Wealthy
to.
Serbians
Yes.
in the summertime.
Yes, I'd like to go check it out because
Serbians.
a wealthy Serbian is like, it's like us pretty much.
Can I move to Serbia?
You can move to
It
Serbia.
might be
If you can
might
learn
be
some
more
Serbian.
stable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Figure it out, right?
Right.
They got Google Translate.
Yeah,
You get that
Serbia
for a couple of years. 13th warrior.
can't be that hard to live in Serbia as us. Maybe it's some other folk, but not
His
us.
brothers are massive.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I just wear Nugget stuff all the time.
Right.
You're welcome here.
Nuggets.
Jokic.
Yes.
Do you know one Serbian word?
No.
No, I don't either.
Ah, man.
Wow.
Treka.
Treka.
Yes.
Hey,
I know
three.
one Serbian word.
Thank you, Chris Marlowe.
Yeah. Tim's gonna look up Serbian words.
No, I thought about it. but
Have
that's
you
not-
thought how many more years we got of Hastings?
I think he's gonna die soon, man.
No.
No, that's negative. I just thought he'd retire.
What
I just
about?
thought he'd die, bro.
He's a big guy.
Did we mention Jokic's 31, 21, 22 triple double?
No, we mentioned a 61.
and he's dropping trip dubs every day.
No, but he was the first player ever. Again.
yet again.
First player ever with a 30, 20, 20 triple double
First center ever to average a triple double
for the season. That man's amazing. And Adelman, going back to him, said, "I hope."
I
you
don't
guys-
think, hey, generational hater, I don't think Wilt Chamberlain averaged a triple double that year, by the way, just rewinding.
Adelman said, "I hope you don't get bored of Jokic because he's a." What was the? I forget the quote. They've interrupted me. God damn it!
Well, no, I'm just trying to respond to this
No,
thing.
you're really good at interrupting people in the room.
What are you talking about? I'm just talking to the.
Talk to him only.
No, I'm just.
No, I hear you.
I'm Mr. Interrupter.
No, you're fine. You're good. You're good.
I forget what Adelman said. Something about don't get tired of this because when he's gone, he's gone.
Right.
And like there's not another Jokic. That was a good quote.
People were talking as he top 15. I was like, man, he's getting up there to the top.
He's top 10, man.
I think when it's all said and done, he will be.
Yeah.
Easy. One of the best centers ever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Don't.
I think he already is, but we don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Right.
No, we don't. But we can all agree LeBron is a bitch. All he is the king of is flopping. I love how he barely catches an elbows and on the floor for 20 minutes.
You hit a chord.
I don't know. Saying Will's the GOAT.
Did-
Several tiers above.
You're the one who
LeBron.
sent the flip off, or was that you? The
That was
flip off-
me.
Yeah, the flip off of
Anthony
LeBron.
Davis before they played in Dallas. Everybody was high fiving, and
Uh-huh.
LeBron turned around to Anthony Davis and he went.
No, Anthony Davis
Anthony Davis flipped
turned
off
around
LeBron.
to LeBron.
No, LeBron turned around to look at Anthony Davis,
Sure,
and Anthony Davis went,
give him the bird.
"Give him the bird."
I think he was trying to do it behind his back, and then LeBron turned around,
That doesn't matter.
which I
That's
also
awesome.
think is a little bit of a.
Though,
No,
I'd like
because
to
LeBron lied. He's like, oh, I didn't even know this
think-
trade was
LeBron,
coming.
dude, LeBron.
He's like, yeah, you did.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever
Yeah.
heard.
Very
GM
different.
LeBron.
Now he's doing the stupid wine shit with Steve Nash now. He can't do it with JJ Redick, where he wants to talk about himself and about how smart he is with the game.
He's not.
Yeah.
He flops. The best thing he's ever done is flop. Like, what? Do you remember in that series when we swept him the year we won the championship and we barely bumped him and he took like 2 steps and fell into the first row and that lady spilled a drink on him and then we handed him a towel?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. That poor lady spilled
What's the conference finals?
Yeah.
This one.
That lady spilled a $20 drink on LeBron because he flopped.
Sucks for that lady.
I'm sorry. He brought up LeBron. I don't
No,
know.
this is a funny joke, so we'll throw it up there. I actually you know that I don't like LeBron, but I do think LeBron deserves his place in the history of the NBA,
Oh, absolutely.
and I do think LeBron, a young LeBron James, gave a great deal of hope to a city that just never had a lot of hope in terms of like sporting stuff.
Mhm.
And I think that's super cool. And it's his hometown.
Right.
That LeBron is cool. Minus he should have won Rookie of the Year. But like that first 5-6 seasons of LeBron, I think is really cool. And then everything afterwards sucks, except for the fact that he had a stripper bowl in his house in Cleveland, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, you don't just put that in there and not use it, right? I think it's a great workout.
Sure. I'd love to see you go work out on it.
Yeah,
man. Stay greased up or what?
Yeah. Really can't get up there, huh?
Can't get any friction.
That's funny.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, have at it.
Yeah,
There
give me
you
a
go.
variety pack.
Yeah.
I do not want a sour.
Don't take the sour rosé. Well, this has been another successful
Divulging into madness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I as much as it's
don't-
hard to see Malone go,
Yeah,
I still have hope this playoff season.
me too. Always.
I do. I'm glad we're not playing the Timberwolves because goddamn do I hate Ant Edwards.
We just don't match up with them. Let's just be real. There's some teams we match up with the Clippers well. We now actually match up with Golden State well. The
I would
Lakers.
much rather play Oklahoma City Thunder in a playoff series than I would playing the Lakers or the Timberwolves.
100%.
Would much rather play Oklahoma City Thunder, and if they beat us because they have had a great season
And they
and
ran
won
up and
6
down,
games,
and
they have
just
more
hitting
depth than us,
threes.
and they're
They're
just
shooting
they
the
fucking kick our ass and
Yeah.
then sweep us and be like, "That's a good team."
Right. Yeah.
I can deal with that, but I don't want to deal with the Lakers or the fucking Timberwolves.
Right.
And so I'm okay. You know,
I do think we can beat the Lakers.
I think we can beat the Lakers. We can
I
beat
think
the
we
Clippers.
should be able to beat the Clippers.
We're gonna beat the Clippers.
Oh no, we're gonna beat the Clippers. I'm not worried about
We're gonna
that.
have some tough games, but we're gonna beat the
Yeah,
Clippers.
probably go 6.
Yeah, Harden will get to the line shit ton.
Yeah,
So
fucking
we'll
Harden's
Kawhi.
still Harden.
Yeah, Kawhi's gonna break a leg or something. They'll be fine.
Kawhi will take a he'll have a boo.
But I
If
think
we run against the Clippers,
no, if we play our style,
yeah, if we run, I feel like we can beat them.
I'm not really. We're good against
And
the Clippers.
Zubac cannot fucking defend Jokic.
No,
that's
not a
gonna-
chance.
That's going to be fun.
No,
Yeah.
When does that start?
tomorrow.
Well, the play-in starts Tuesday, so it probably won't be till later next week.
The weekend probably will be the
Friday or
the first.
probably on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, let's schedule that for the NBA. Should we call them up and schedule it for them?
Tell them Easter Sunday. Why not?
Yeah, my wife would love that.
I
I hope the Lakers don't play on Easter Sunday.
They're going to. Like, what's your worst nightmare? That's gonna happen.
Like it's playing on a holy holiday.
Yeah, right.
The Southern and my wife will come out.
Wait,
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
no. It's not like that. It's more like, hey, listen,
I'll keep the volume off.
you have the thing that gives you spirituality. I have the thing that gives me spirituality.
Oh my Lord. Today I learned in church that Jesus was a horse thief.
No! Damn it! I thought he was awesome.
Jokic can't like him.
No, exactly.
No, you know how like growing up, all the stories you heard, he rode into Jerusalem in the Holy Week on a donkey.
Yeah. No, he actually stole a horse.
Today he stole an unbroken horse, and the way he did is he sent his disciples into the town, who just took the horse. And when the owner was like, "Hey," they were like, "Well, the Messiah needs it." And I was like, "That's a fucking horse thief."
Well,
I was like, "What the hell are you guys
Free
talking about?"
grazers.
Yeah, sorry.
hold on, that actually really checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into like cults and shit,
Yeah.
that really checks out. The Messiah needs this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but I-
Hey, man, it's for him.
It's for him.
All my life, the dude rode in on a donkey,
That's what I thought.
and people put palms down. Today he
Yeah,
rode
Palm
on.
Sunday.
Yeah, today he rode in on a
I'm a
stolen
stone
colt,
colt.
and people took their jackets off or their cloaks or whatever and laid them down, and he rode over those.
Did you read the scripture?
No, Dave, I don't read.
You just listened to the guy?
Dave, I'm
His
telling you,
story.
his story was different than every other Easter, every other Palm Sunday story I've ever heard in my life.
I think I'm going to trust what your pastor said because,
I don't even know his name.
well, it's
It's a good
probably
one left.
it's Father
So
something.
I don't know, man, but Jesus stole the horse.
Well, that doesn't, would you let Jesus steal one of our horses? Or would you call him on that shit?
I'd call him on that shit.
I'm the Messiah.
Yeah.
I need it.
No bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're the Messiah, please ride this horse first.
Take this donkey.
If you can ride this
Let's
horse,
give you a buck.
Yeah.
if you can ride this horse, I will believe you're the Messiah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And you can take him. But he didn't even take it himself. He sent him to his
Of course he did.
disciples.
Man, this religion thing seems super easy.
I'm telling you, Dave, I told you I found a spot for the Church of Graph.
Yeah. Let's not get into that right now. But yeah, it seems super easy. I trust you. You trust me. I'll take from them in the name of the good Lord.
Yeah.
And then everything will be fine.
For just $150, you can have prayers.
Exactly.
A month,
Yeah.
For just 5 easy payments of $99.95.
You get to go to heaven.
Yeah.
Our council will get together and discuss you individually.
Oh boy. Here we go. Yeah. Well, it's the truth.
I'm just
man.
saying, I thought that was weird.
Yeah,
My
we
entire
definitely-
life, it was a donkey and palms, and all of a
Right.
sudden it was jackets and a pony, an unbroke pony. Unbroke.
He was unbroken. Jesus
He was
broke him.
unbroken.
Yeah, he just walked on it. I'm like, he said that early on in his sermon.
Imagine a Jesus on like a bucking bronco, just like,
There's
I'm
funny-
coming to Bethlehem.
This is how my mind works. Is he said that part early in his sermon, so I missed like the next 15
Oh yeah,
minutes
because
of the
you're
sermon.
busy.
I'm like, Jesus just stole the horse.
He
Like
took the
that man
horse.
deserved it.
Took a horse.
Fucking A, I don't know.
And then you're looking at him like his disciples stealing it, and then you're like, this is what he looks like riding it.
Yep.
They're not palms, they're jackets. What kind of jackets?
Yeah.
They're probably down. Is it, it's cold in
Those
Jerusalem
down-
these
those
days.
down jackets.
I don't know. That's how my mind went. Nuggets
Back to,
win.
back to the Nuggets.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I wanted to share that with you all.
I think that was awesome.
That was
Um,
fun. This is why I love Bros on Nuts.
Yeah.
We had a tangent. We needed an odd one.
Nah, man.
And if we offend anybody, maybe you need to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, my whole life, he rode a donkey and walked on palms.
Yeah.
Now apparently it's jackets and an unbroke colt.
Nah, man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm done with
Hey, again, I'm just excited
Nuggets and 6.
that we're finally playing a team we haven't played for. We played against in a couple of years.
the Clippers.
Yes,
Nuggets and 5.
not since the bubble. Haven't played.
What? We
against-
haven't played them in the playoffs since the bubble. I feel like we crushed
Correct.
them every time.
haven't played them since the bubble.
We crushed them a lot.
Man. Nuggets in 6, 5.
Well, I'm trying to think. We're gonna win 3 home. It's either 5. It's either 5 or 7.
Well, you gotta go 5. It's not going 7.
Well, I don't know if we'll necessarily beat them twice in LA, but I think we can take one in LA.
But we have the home court advantage, right?
Right? Yeah. So we win 2.
Win 1, come back.
I like
win
5.
one.
5 is good.
I like that.
You like 5? I'll go with the sweep. Screw them. I don't think the Clippers are that good. I think the generational hater earlier on talking about the money we've thrown towards old people. What about the money they threw towards James Harden?
Right.
Like,
There's a lot of other franchises worse than us. When as much as how as critical as we are of the Jamal and MPJ contracts, there's other people making really bad decisions, aka the Sixers
and the Clippers.
and the Clippers.
The Clippers are right there with the Sixers, although the Clippers have done a good job of unloading that. You know what I mean?
Right.
They duped the Sixers into unloading.
The Paul
So bad.
George contract,
Yeah.
which is the whole reason why the Thunder are so good, is because they unloaded that Paul George
Right.
and Russell Westbrook and just like, yeah, okay, we'll just
Just take
do this.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. I feel good about the Clippers matchup. I think OKC, if we get to the second round, is going to be a whole nother ball game. But I feel better about that than playing the Timberwolves.
yeah, I do.
And then maybe the Timberwolves and the Lakers just beat up on each other, right? I mean, that's always the hope.
Honestly, if you beat the Thunder, you would think you're going to the NBA
I
final.
don't know. The Wolves do their. The Wolves
Right.
are a respectable adversary
No matter what.
right now.
Right.
I hate to say that,
No, that's true. That's very true.
but Nas Reed is legit.
I worry about more Nas Reed than I do about Rudy Gobert.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And
I do like that they got rid of Cat though. I'm not as much worried about them as I did last year with as much as I talked shit about Cat. Julius Randle is not Cat.
Yeah, he's not, but he does some things really well that Cat couldn't do.
Like what?
Like shoot with a left hand.
Yeah, like he's not as good as a shooter as Cat, but he's probably a better defender.
Yes.
I mean,
Better post player.
better post player.
Shoots a 3 relatively
They,
well.
they talk about how they like Randall in the pick and roll more than they did like Cat, even though Cat just kind of picked and popped more.
That's what I liked about Cat.
Right.
He
He went and
we
died.
didn't have to defend the paint.
Right.
But with Randall, you do. He actually wants to get there.
Again, that Lakers Wolves series will be let them beat up on each other, man.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll sweep the Clippers. I think this is what I'm gathering from this conversation.
Yeah.
We sweep the Clippers, and
We
then we
sweep
sweep
the Clippers.
and then we sweep the OKC,
They sleep the Thunder.
and then they both series for the Wolves and Lakers go 7, and then they're tired, and then we sweep them in our way to sweeping a
I
championship
love you.
against the Celtics.
You're the best. All
Yeah,
right, man.
I hope we get to play the Celtics. I want a shot at them.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the East will go. You know,
I think the Celtics are going to come out of that, man.
Cavs are good.
They are good.
I guess the Pacers won 50 games, guys.
There were several East Coast teams this year that did pretty well.
Pacers aren't that good, man.
Oh, they went on a little hot streak. I don't feel like they were that good.
Have you heard about the like? We're
Pacers
trying.
won 50 games. The Knicks did too.
Have you heard about us trying to get Halliburton? Have you heard that rumor?
I've not heard that rumor.
Really?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I like it.
In a trade.
Obviously, Murray would be involved in that.
I don't like that. I'd rather have Murray than Halliburton. I think Halliburton
Me
is
too.
a
He's
little
not good enough to
overrated.
do it. We
Yeah.
need shooting. If whatever we do in the future needs to involve shooting.
Badass shooters
Shooting and bench.
where Nikola gets to the paint and can kick out to like
Yeah,
4 different
Guys
guys
that
who
can
can
catch.
all just
There's got to
they
be.
did that with LeBron, man.
right.
Finally, fucking did that with LeBron. He won championships with that.
There's got to be a savvy shooting veteran who would take the minimum to win a championship because he hasn't won one or two.
Would Chris Middleton come here? He's hurt a lot.
But if you're coming off the bench, you're not playing as
I think
much.
you want to try to find like a 3-and-D guy, right?
A 3 guy.
Right.
If you can get a 3-and-D guy,
Guys that can
that's
just
gold.
catch and shoot quickly.
You need
right?
guys who can make it.
I mean, that's what OKC has done a good job of.
Yeah, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins.
Yeah. Williams.
I mean, Luke Dort is decent enough.
No, he's good. All those guys shoot the 3.
3. They can catch and shoot.
Well,
We'll be back again before.
Hey,
It's all
I think
over.
we feel, despite everything we've been through, we feel good.
yeah, I think it's been a tumultuous couple weeks as a
Weeks.
Nuggets fan.
Right.
Like I
It's been
feel
rough.
a
Been
lot
rough
of
since the
lot of
All-Star
ups
break.
and lot of ups and
Since
downs.
the All-Star break, it's been ups and downs.
Yeah, it's been it's all been
Had an
ups and
8-game winning
downs.
streak going on the fucking All-Star break, and it's just been what we've been.
Then it was
12 and
wasn't-
13 or
Wasn't
11 and
hadn't
13?
we won out of the All-Star break? We won like 13 out of 15 games or something, and then since then it's just been a downward trajectory.
It's all right. We got this. Go Nugs.
But now we've won 4 in a row,
3 in a row.
3 in a row since the firings. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like, are you excited for the playoffs, or is this like because I kind of feel like we're just going through it?
I am, and I'm nervous.
I'm excited about playing the Clips.
Yeah, I'm happy that we're not.
If we were playing anybody else, I probably would have been like,
What about Golden State?
If we were playing the Wolves, I'd be like,
Would you have been cool playing Golden State?
It would have been cool playing.
Playing Golden
Yeah,
State.
ditto. Either of those teams, I'm like, okay, first round, I think we got this.
Right.
Steph Curry can go off for 50, and we'll still win.
I'd much rather play the Clippers than play Golden State, though.
Yeah. Oh no, we got the first round matchup. We won it.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully,
Right.
we can watch a game together.
You
Go
think?
Nugs.
Are we gonna let's commit to
Okay,
watching a
let's
game?
do it. Yeah,
What's
let's
I'm
the
just
first
saying, I
game?
hope we can watch a game together.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Are we gonna commit to the game 1 or
We got to see the
You
schedule
gotta see the
first.
schedule, man.
so
Yes,
we all
I'm
got
in.
to okay. We got to figure that out.
Absolutely, I'm in.
What if the schedule says we can't watch it together? Do we record it and then watch it together later?
We will figure out a couple games
We'll
during the
watch it.
series.
At some point, we'll figure it out. There's no
I
way.
I can come over on a weeknight.
Are we gonna go to a game?
That would be fun.
That'd
Would
be a lot
you
of fun.
prefer first round, second round? We're gonna get it to the second round at least. You want a
Well,
second
let's-
round game?
yeah.
But we
First
lost
round.
last time we all went to a playoff game. We lost, right?
Yeah. What was that? The NBA championship?
Yeah, I mean, no, we went to
No,
a playoff
last
game
year.
last year.
We
What
lost.
game did we go to?
It was the only loss to.
We did go to a playoff game last year.
And it was a loss to.
That's right, we did. It was the only game I think I went to last year. I haven't been to a game this year
Minnesota?
either.
No. It was the round prior to Minnesota. I don't know, man. But you guys want to try to that?
Watching together, yes. If a game falls, well, then yes.
It all depends where it falls, how it lands.
I think the three of us can watch a game together on TV. I think we were talking about
You went to a
traveling-
Lakers game?
Was it a Lakers?
Because
game?
they played the Lakers. They played the Lakers round one last year.
I don't know. TV, I think we can figure it out.
Right.
If we're going up to Denver, then it takes a little bit of planning. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, we really got to look at the schedule and be like, this day. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll let my wife know and talk to her, all that. Logistics, Dave.
Oh, good. We'll figure it out. We're going. We're there. Soja Saeed.
Well, I feel like this has been a super productive Bros on Rigs.
Yeah, I think we're about
Did we put in some work today?
hard work.
Okay. Do we win an NBA championship this year?
You got the best player in the NBA, so you never.
It's always sitting there, isn't it?
You're telling me you got a chance. There's always a chance.
Saying there's a chance.
How excited are you guys for the new Happy Gilmore?
I think it's going to be good.
I'm going to watch it. I think it'll be all right.
It's on Netflix.
It's going to be on Netflix?
I'm pretty sure he's a
Yeah.
Netflix dude.
Yeah, he's a Netflix guy. He's owned by
He's
Netflix.
owned by Netflix.
I enjoy his movies, man. I've watched a lot of them. Some are terrible. I think
What's the worst one?
Oh, God. Like
Did you like Little Nicky?
Little Nicky,
I like
yes.
Little Nicky.
Little Nicky's awesome. The Ridiculous Six.
That
or the-
Little Nicky was
Yeah,
awesome.
he divulged in the Netflix.
The
movies.
Ridiculous Eight or the Ridiculous Six, whatever
Or
it
that
was.
spy movie with Jennifer Aniston.
That one was actually okay.
I didn't see
The old
Ridiculous
Western
Six.
one. The old Western
Yeah, it was
one.
pretty
Like
bad.
the old Western one was really bad.
Was it?
Yes.
How bad was it?
Really bad.
Yeah, bad.
Horrible.
It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
he had Spade and everybody in it, and it wasn't good.
And it just wasn't good.
Right.
Well,
All right.
maybe you watched it at the wrong time.
No, it was bad.
Perhaps.
All
right.
But okay, you guys are done. All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
You're the one that
everyone.
said you had to go at 9:30.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's 9:50.
Go Nuggets.
Let's go. Nuggets.
Nuggets. Let's go,
Who's-
Nuggets.
Generational hater.